Quote, I got a body full of liquor with a cocaine kicker, and I'm feeling like I'm 30 feet tall. Look what you're doing. Look what you done. But in this jungle, baby, you can't run. Cause what I got for you, I promise it's a kicker. You be banging on my chest. Bang, bang, gorilla. Let's go.
Yippee-ki-yo, yippee-ki-yay, working like 3 jobs, ready for a vacate. Like it when we touch down, like it when we spontaneous. So I work as hard as I play. I'm trying to see you in the moonlight, so you can meet me by the poolside. I know you're looking for a good time, yeah. But listen, baby, you just show. Cause this is not a drill, this is how I feel. Pop champagne, I'ma do it for the thrill. Escape with me, I'm saying that maybe we could take off and then land on the jet ski. Baby, I'll hold you tight. Top shelf with the dash, show you right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another album review video. My name is DZ. This is DZ Music, where music equals life. Today, I am excited because we got another album review for you that I think is going to be a little controversial. Now, today's artist, he actually needs no introduction because the man is everywhere. We are talking about the one, the only, and if you were able to pick up on the lyrics from the opening credit, the one and only Mr. Bruno Mars. Now, full disclosure, I am not the biggest Bruno, I don't like the word fan, but I'm not the biggest Bruno consumer, if you would. There is two really good songs from Bruno that I personally like, and these are just my opinions. But I really did not get the hype with Bruno. I don't. I mean, honestly, to me, again, my opinion, his voice isn't that spectacular. I mean, he has a voice, don't get me wrong, but I really didn't find anything too special with it. But I can't take away from what he has done musically. So, with that being said, musically, the man is, like I said, he's everywhere. He's sold over 26 million albums, 200 million singles. He's done the Super Bowl twice. He has sold out concerts all over the world. His ticket sales, when he posts that he's going on tour, like they sell out like the next day. He's worked with the who's who in the music industry. So Bruno is here to stay. So the song that I like the most from Bruno Mars is Locked Out of Heaven. I really like that track from him, and I really dig the groove of the track. So I decided, let's go through his sophomore album, Unorthodox Jukebox, and let's see if Bruno Mars lives up to the hype. Really? Is it just hype? Or is he really musically as good as everyone says? Let's find out. I'm excited. Let's go. So here is the album Unorthodox Jukebox by Bruno Mars. First off, I have to say the title Unorthodox Jukebox, badass. Like, who thinks of that? Like, but as a title itself, I love the title of the album. Another thing I noticed, I mean, because I've listened to this album before, but then when I get ready to do this review, I was like, let me listen to some other stuff. So I listened to his other album, his first album, and then 24 Karat Magic. And I noticed something about his tracks. His albums are really short. And if his albums aren't short, the tracks are short too. Like, there's really no track that goes over 4 minutes, really, and no album that goes over like 10 songs. I think this might be the longest. This album, Unorthodox Jukebox, might be the longest album for him. But with that being said, let's get into the first track, Young Wild Girls. Okay, so Bruno starts off this track. The music starts off, and instantly, I have to be honest with you, when the music starts off, I instantly got Christmas Carol. I honestly thought this belonged on a Christmas album. It isn't until the beat drops that you can differentiate that, okay, this is a track, but it really does sound, the music, it sounds very Christmassy. It sounds very, very dashing. I don't know, dash to the snow, but it does sound very Christmas carol-y. Other than that, Bruno comes in and he sounds very good on the track. I will have to say I found the verses a little boring. I did find the verses a little boring. The only standout on this song for me was when he got to the U's. When he did that you, I can't do it right now. But when he got to those U's, oh man, he soared. Like, he sounded, it just was amazing. Like, he sounded so comfortable. It sounded so natural for him. It sounded easy for him. And it was a beautiful part of the song. Other than that, aside from the beat, the song really does give Christmas Carol. But it is a nice song. And it's him talking about his time when he was young and wild and free and doing crazy stuff. You wouldn't necessarily get that really from the lyrics of the song, but, you know, in a PC way, that's what the song is saying. Not a go-to for me, but it isn't a deal breaker. Young Wild Girls, it's okay, but it is a little Christmas carol-y, in my opinion. There we go. Track number 2. Here we have it. One of my favorite tracks on the album, Locked Out of Heaven. From the get-go of this song, it's insane. From the arrangement to the beat, when the beat drops, that crazy bass guitar, this is gonna be a jam. You know this song is gonna get played on the radio. I liked Bruno's verses on this. The only thing I liked, I wish he would have went a little bit harder on the verses and then pulled back on the chorus, because I can imagine maybe with this beat line, the arrangement of the music, I wonder how it would sound with like a rapper on it. You know, just taking the beat and just rapping, whatever they want to rap or however they put it. I bet it would have been fire, because it's just, the arrangement is crazy. That's why I think he lacked in, because the verses were good, but I feel like he could have went a little bit harder on them. Like, he could have given it a little bit more attitude, a little more just to distinguish the verses from the chorus, because with the chorus you have this build up, and I think the choruses are good. The choruses are fine how they are, but I feel like he could have given it a little bit more. I also wonder how it would be, and I was thinking about this listening to it again. I was like, I wonder how this would sound with like a Steven Tyler singing this, or Adam Lambert. Could you imagine? Like, they would destroy this track. I mean, but Locked Out of Heaven is a banger in my book. Bruno did his thing on it. I like the song. I thought he could have gone a little bit harder on the verses to accompany the banging arrangement and the banging musicians, but it still is an awesome track, and I still listen to it today. There you go. Track number 3, we have Gorilla. Bang, bang, Gorilla. On this track, I have to be honest, I actually like the rhythmic of this track. I like the direction this track was going in. The only thing I think when I listen to it again and again and again, and I keep coming back to the same thought, that is that for some reason I feel like this was not the original recording of this song. And go with me. If you listen to the track, it does sound like it was subdued. It almost sounds like, okay, the original version of this track was, because the song is supposed to be this big bang, 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 Gorilla. And I feel like he turned it into the record company and it was like, yeah, can we bring it down a little? And I feel for some reason I would not be surprised if it does come out eventually that this song had to be redone just to make it more commercially palatable for the masses. But I do feel like this song is a good song. I like it. It's always I wanted to go there because you have this message, this come on, man, and it's not giving that fully for me. I do think he does a good job on this. Gorilla is a standout hit. It's a subdued way of, it's a commercially pleasing way of, saying what bang bang Gorilla. Okay, I honestly I don't know what the song is talking about. I do know what the song is talking about. I just can't relate to what it is saying. But Gorilla is a good track. Bruno sounds amazing on it. Yeah, I think that's it on Gorilla. Let's go move on. Track number 4, we have Treasure. Treasure is a fun, dance, nice party track. It is not meant to be no more than that. It is literally meant to be a song that you play at parties, that you do at karaoke, and I actually like the song because if I heard it out at a bar or whatever, I'd be Treasure. But other than that, I don't think Treasure would be anywhere other than that in my playlist. I think what we have to remember too is this was Bruno's sophomore album. So there is a thing called the sophomore slump. And to avoid the sophomore slump, Bruno had to deliver the hits. This song is literally 2 minutes and 58 seconds, I think. But commercially, it was a hit. So even though Treasure isn't, my cup of tea that much, but it is a fun dance track, I like the song because there is something to be said about making fun music. And though a lot of times artists who make fun music aren't taking that seriously as musicians because it's just so widely popular and it's usually the lyrics and stuff aren't that deep or whatever, but it's because it gets you in a fun mood and it does lift everyone's spirit. So Treasure is a fun track. It was everywhere on the radio, and I do like that it broke up coming from Gorilla, going into a fun, nice, simple dance track. So Treasure, you're my shine. I see it. Shining star, I think it says. But it's a good song. Next, we move into Moonshine, the 5th track on the album. Again, my opinion, but I have to be honest on this track. When this track opens, I instantly got Creed. Do you remember the rock band Creed from the early 2000s? The opening sounds like the opening of a Creed song. If you don't believe me, pause the video, go listen to Creed right now. Just about any of their openers, this sounds like a Creed opener. Other than that, when the beat drops, I was perplexed because I went from hearing Creed to hearing Knight Rider from the 80s. Remember the 80s sitcom show, Knight Rider? And that's Moonshine. The meaning of the song basically is about bootleg liquor and a relationship when it's in its high point. I have to say, honestly, for me, there was nothing noticeable nothing noticeable about this song. There's nothing that stood out in this song, which is sad to say, because I don't know what the message, I don't know what they were going for. From the writers to the arrangers to the musician, I do not know what we were going for with Moonshine. But yeah, no, I don't know. And the sad thing about it is I listened to the song over and over and over and over again. And maybe it's just not for me, but there was just nothing noticeable about it at all. And it's sad. And there was nothing noticeable from Bruno. Because usually you might get a track that is not musically not that good, or musically it's good and the vocalist isn't that good on the track, or the track isn't that noticeable but the vocalist is carrying the track. With this, you get neither, and it just didn't work. Let me know how you feel about Moonshine. Could save it. Let's go move on. Hope you are enjoying the album review of Unorthodox Jukebox. Let's get into track number 6. So, remember I said there were 2 songs from Bruno that I really, really loved? This is the second one. That's why I chose to review this album, because both of the songs that I really love from him are on this track. And I know it. I know you know it. It is When I Was Your Man. Talk about a beautiful track. I have to give Bruno his 10s on this track. It is a ballad-driven track with the piano, and you have Bruno's voice. It is a sad track, but not being too overly sad. It's still radio friendly, and that's why it was everywhere on the radio. I have to say, the beauty in this track, though, was the pairing of Bruno's voice and the piano. It was just magic. Like, the combination was insane. He sung this song. He sung it from his soul, but it sounded like it wasn't overly done. It sounded like he was just singing. And I have to say that, again, him and the piano just singing, he sounded very vulnerable at some points in it. Not overly vulnerable. Still enough where it can still be played on the radio. And he did a good job on this track. I have to give Bruno his 10s on this one. Great job on When I Was Your Man. I loved it. So we move on to track number 7 on the album, which is Natalie. Natalie is another upbeat, heavy beat driven track that, again, for some reason sounds like it was subdued. It gives me the same feeling like as Gorilla, like it was originally sounded a lot different, and they had to change it just to make it more feasible. But it is a beat track. It is very heavy on the beat. It isn't the most impressive lyrically when you think about songs typically that have names as titles. Those songs typically drive the story home in the verses. Like, you see the whole picture of why this person was so important that their name was featured as a track usually. So for me, the verses on this were not lyrically impressive at all to deem why Natalie deserved to have a track named after her. Honestly, it's like I said, I think there is another version of this song that we just have not heard, and I think it goes a lot harder, but I think to make it more commercially palatable for the masses, it had to be changed, because the song does sound a little PG. I do think again that Bruno could have gone a lot harder on these verses. You have this banging beats behind you. These musicians are playing their butts off, and it just does not seem that he, like, vocally, like, he is up. He's to the par that they are at. But I will say that even though I don't too much care for the track, I did like, if you listen to the verses, there's a very rhythmic way of the way that he delivers the track that is very impressive. That is very impressive. I like how he delivered the tracks. I don't care for the tracks because, again, the lyrics they fall flat. Natalie, wherever she is today, I'm quite sure that she is quite well, because if this song was to put any kind of fear in her, Natalie, okay, she's good. She's chilling. All right. Track number 8, we have Show Me. Nice. Wait, hold on. Honestly, I have to be honest. I am a sucker for Caribbean beats. I am from the islands, so you give me some reggae, you give me some soca, you give me some Caribbean, some reggaeton over a track, I'm gonna listen to it. So I am a sucker for it. I have to say, Show Me is a fun track. It is a nice, easy track, and Bruno slides onto this track and delivers. He lets the vibe of the track influence his delivery, which is just seamless. He does an awesome job on this track. I love Show Me. I love the beat of it. I think he did a good job on it. It's another short track, but it is a really, really good track. It's a nice little dance track, a nice little Caribbean beat. I could see myself back home under the bridge with a beer, eating some conch salad, and I could hear Show Me playing out on the playlist, and I would be in heaven with that. So I enjoyed Show Me. Listen to it. I guarantee you it will give you those vibes. The next track number 9 on the album, is Money Makes Her Smile. Okay, honestly, when the music starts and the verses come in, my first thought every time I listen to it to try to give it grace is the music and the verses sound like they belong on Broadway or a soundtrack to a musical or music to a movie. Did not care for it. I don't care for the lyrics. I don't care for the music. The only standout on this song is when you get to the chorus and you go, give her what you got, give her what you got, hey, give her what you got, give her what you got, hey, give her what you got, give her what you got. Money makes her, give her what you got, give her what you got. That is the standout on this track. Other than that, nothing. The track, it gives us nothing. It lyrically doesn't give us much at all. It's another short track as well. Yeah, I can't say nothing else about Money Makes You Smile. I really got soundtrack from it. I got soundtrack. I got Broadway musical. It should be up for a Tony probably. I'm just kidding. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. But yeah, that was Money Makes Her Smile. Nah. So, look, we are at track number 10, the last track on this album, and that's just show you how short the album really is. I think in total, if I'm not mistaken, the track doesn't go beyond, the album doesn't go beyond maybe 45-48 minutes. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I saw the last time I looked. I can't remember. But anyways, If I Knew is a nice closure. It's a ballad. It's a nice country, little rock, mid-tempo. Well, actually slow down. Well, not even mid-tempo. Ballad that he sings that gives you reminiscence of country and rock from this maybe 60s and 70s kind of sound. I have to say Bruno sounds amazing on it. The gem on this really is his voice. And no, the real gem on this is the two-part harmony. That is a beautiful, beautiful harmony. I do not think Bruno is the other part in the harmony. It sounds like it's a totally different person. I could be mistaken. It could be him. But I did like the track, and I thought it was a good ending. A little weird. Not a good. I won't say a little weird, but how can I say that? No, coming from Money Makes Her Smile to this totally different sounding like country ballad kind of song, it was a little weird, but it's a closure to the album. So If I Knew is an okay track. Bruno shines on it. Again, his voice when he slows things down and he does these harmonies is amazing. So If I Knew is a good track to close the album. So that's it. That's Unorthodox Jukebox. And I guess it says it all in the name, huh? Unorthodox. Because this album was very unorthodox. It kind of went a little bit all over the place without going all over the place. I don't know. But I will say this. I know listening to it, you can tell that the album was meant to be a commercial success. You could tell it was not meant to be deep. It was not meant to give us anything special. It sounds like it was meant to give us radio hits. And I'm not mad at that because, like I said, this was his sophomore album coming from a virtually unknown artist who blew up because he had the song with B.O.B. and then he had the, what's the song on his first album? You know what it is. Leave it in the comments. So I get it. And then we know, from listening to this album, there was one more big point I wanted to make. It sounded on this album as though like there was something in between Bruno and the musicians. It almost seemed like they weren't in the same space. Like they weren't sharing the same space when this album was recorded. And and I know they probably did this part on purpose. I think they subdued his voice down a little too, because when I listened to him on 24 Karat Magic, that album, you can hear him so crisp and so clear, and he is obviously in front of the mic. With this album, it sounds like there's a divider between him, the mic, and the music. And I think that's what kind of got me a little bit. Like I felt like it didn't go there a lot of times when I thought he could have. Because it's one thing if the song's not lyrically hitting, that's one thing. But if you have the voice and you can deliver it in a way that it should be, then that makes all the difference. I think a lot of these tracks, that point was missing. It was a commercial success. So shout out to Bruno. I'm actually happy that he's getting all the success he has. I wonder though, he had the song Uptown Funk with Ronson on that album, and then he did 24 Karat Magic that had a more R&B sounding aesthetic to it. I don't know. I think I like the fact that he was able to do it because he paid homage to R&B and the sound of our black artists. But I think the stigma and the double standard, that's what most people don't too much agree with. And when it comes to like he is not an African American artist, but he can do our music and he does it well and we can accept it. But a lot of times when black artists and African American artists try to venture out and do different things, it isn't commercially successful, or they're told they can't. So I think that's what a lot of people have the double standard when it comes to Bruno. Commercially, he is a hit. I do like his voice. I do think his voice is a little one-dimensional. I don't think he doesn't do too much with it. He doesn't experiment a lot with his voice, with his sound. So I think that's why I think it's a little one-dimensional. I like that he is a singer. I like that he's a male singer. I like that he is singing his butt off. So let me know what your thoughts are on Bruno Mars and Unorthodox Jukebox. Let me know in the comments section. I know you enjoyed this video. So you should like, share, and comment, and hit that subscribe button. Listen, we're not going nowhere. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy hearing you guys' comments. I enjoy seeing you guys hit that thumbs up button. YouTube is new for me, and this is a passion project of mine. So I want to see it grow. So if you enjoy the review, and if you have any critiques, if you have anything, pros or cons, just leave it in the comment section, and I will definitely take those into consideration. Until next time, this is your boy DZ. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you guys on the next album review. Peace. Yippee-ki-yo, working like 3 dots, ready for a vacate. Like it when we touch down, like it when we spontaneous. So I work as hard as I play. I'm trying to see in